Well, good morning everyone from Knucklebark Ranch. Here we're out in the garden this morning on Sunday, June 16th, 2024. Everybody looks like they're doing well. These tomatoes are a little more spindly than those over there, and the reason is because these like partial shade. These kind of tomatoes like partial shade. And you notice that our peppers are doing well. Well, most of them anyways. I don't know why these guys, but they got a shot of fertilizer yesterday. They should come to life. Anyway, so we spray that that tomato fertilizer right on the leaves of these guys, and they seem to like it. Tomatoes love it. We're still going around plucking out the suckers whenever we find them. Right? We don't have any this morning. All right, here's one. Look at that. So there you go. And that's kind of what we come out here and do in the morning. Very cool morning this morning. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was chilly when I come out here. Now it's starting to warm up. Anyway, so you treat these like your babies, you know. So gardening to me is a very spiritual thing. I read. Oh wow, is this a great big sucker right here? I think it is. I think this is the main top right here. Right? So I think this is, although these will put on tomatoes, not like the main stalk will. And you want most of your growth right now to go so that this will trellis up and over, right? And we have cucumbers on that side over there. We have Armenian cucumbers over there, and these are sweet straight eights over here. And we have some zucchinis here, and we have an aphid problem. Still, the aphids are ongoing. You know, aphid problems are ongoing. So right here is where we have the aphid problem. You can see we cut this pretty back. I hit it with some 7 yesterday. I will hit it with some 7 again in the morning, tomorrow morning. My friend Michael will be here tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Anyway, so here we are. And I do believe that this guy is a sucker. And so he's gone. Here's the main stalk right here. So if you notice, the main stalk comes up. There's a shade leaf comes off. You have this guy that was growing right there. No, we don't want him. We want this to go up. Now when it gets up there, when it gets up here, we're going to let it do what it wants. Wherever we can reach, we will continue to pull these suckers out. But ever since I learned how to do this, my tomato production has went through the roof. And so down on the bottom down here, you have shade leaves that are done doing their job. So if they look like they're turning colors, they're getting spotty on them or whatever, just cut them off. They're not going to hurt a darn thing. And continue to do it that way. This guy right here is a Carmelo. I'm not really sure. He's not growing very fast, but we'll see. I've never grown a Carmelo, so I don't know what it is. I think it's an indeterminate. Here, let me check. Got to get my glasses on because I can't. I got CSS. I can't see shit. Disease resistant. Flavored indeterminate. So it is an indeterminate. So I've been treating it like an indeterminate, right? So I always like to keep my tags there for just this reason, because I can't remember, right? So you go along here and you search these suckers out here. There's one right there. Yeah, right there. Pull them out. That's okay. It helps the tree. And then these shade leaves down on the bottom, when they're done doing their job, and you can feel they start getting a little crispy and tough, you want to pull those out, of course. Pull the weeds out as you go. So this little tree, I would love to see all of these blossoms right here set. Wouldn't that be cool to have a whole, like a 6-pack or a 12-pack? Look, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 on there. I don't know. Looking pretty good. These guys are spindly, but they'll get better. When they get up there, of course, they'll get more sunlight. This guy here is Let's see, I don't know if I can find, there he is on the screen, but there we are. I don't know why that thing won't focus. Anyway, so remember, when you start getting up like this, you can start clipping off those shade leaves and put most of the growth into your top, right? The shade leaves are taking minerals and things away from your plant. So you want to trim those off so that you can focus your energy into growing up over the trellis. Some grow faster than others. These right here are super sweet 100s, and they're indeterminate also. So we know that we're going to continue to get tomatoes off of those until they get killed by the frost or whatever. So hopefully, and then this guy just took off. He was in bad shape, like this one here, right here. And then I gave him a shot of that fertilizer, and he took off, and he's starting to put on fruit. All right. So, anyways, so these tomatoes are looking good. This guy just, man. So these came from Costco. You know, I mean, $3.33 a piece, and they were like this size. So I think that Costco is a good value if you want to go to Costco and buy your tomatoes and some fruit trees. I like to buy local fruit trees that are produced here locally, right? But when it comes to like like Manuka grapes and things like that, I actually bought my Manuka grapes from Costco, and I can't remember the price, but it was pretty fair. You know, it wasn't a deal breaker, so I bought them there. Anyways, so here we are. We're going to plant some. Actually, we're going to pull this out on this side, and then we're going to plant some summer squash. I think some yellow straight necks, and we love squash, and we have our zucchinis that not doing it. The zucchini love full sun, and I just planted them here because I didn't, and they won't take up a lot of space, right? So they're in a partial shaded area also, and your peppers will do much better if you plant them in a partial shade, is what I found. All right, so here we go. And the staining right here is copper sulfate. We don't want any powdery mildew. We found powdery mildew on this plant as well as aphids. Now I'm going to spray it again another round. I got rid of the powdery mildew, and I'm going to spray it with another round of 7. And now see this leaf right here? It's discolored. It's coming off. See how it's turning yellow on the ends? Goodbye. So really should make a clean cut of it. Anyhow, so that's that. But if you notice the aphids on that still. And then I pulled out of a lot of the leaves that were infected heavily with aphids. Right? It's kind of hard to see, but the 7 is working. So it killed. Yeah, here's a blossom. They love them blossoms. See, there's a blossom right there that the aphids are on. Anyway, so probably spray again tomorrow with 7. I don't like to spray too much of that stuff, but we will spray tomorrow with some 7 and try to finish off those. Looks like we got our powdery mildew under control. Your really broadleaf plants, like these are beans, they're producing beans already, and they are going to get the broadleaves. What I'm trying to say is the broadleaf plants like these and the squash plants seem to get powdery mildew. Powdery mildew was not a problem when I was young. We didn't have it. Our ag department tried to prevent any of these house plants that were coming in. My wife was buying that had powdery mildew, and they missed some. They got planted out front, and then ever since, and see, we never knew anything about powdery mildew, and ever since that happened, we've always had to fight powdery mildew. But we have some things in our tool chest to kill it and get rid of it, which always seems that copper sulfate is the go-to, mineral that will kill that stuff. And we know from the past that around here, all of these mountains over here, they had copper smelters down over in the canyon on the Sacramento River, just below the Shasta Dam there. And they killed all the trees on these mountains. These mountains were all covered with trees like these ponderosas right here, and even Doug fir. And these mountains had trees all over them. And then the smelters, copper, the sulfides coming out of the smelters killed all of those trees in that area over there. That's why there's not a lot of trees on those hills over there. Anyway, so that seems to be the thing to kill stuff. That's just like if you used too much copper sulfate. Now what I did was I used copper sulfite. I mixed it heavy for that, right? And then I sprayed these. I sprayed these too, because I just spraying everything in the garden, because that's what you do when you get it. So it really had a bad impact on my hibiscus and even my Malabar spinach back here. See, this spinach will trellis, and it'll come up through here like this, and that's good. You know, we may even put a wire for it to trellis over top. Anyways, that's garden number 1 this morning. We have a whole array of gardens down through here that why is that? It won't focus. There we go. So we have a whole array of gardens down here. We have corn in these plots. We have cantaloupes. We have watermelon. We have, we're starting to grow a lot of beans. We have acorn squash and a little one. We planted beans yesterday and that big one over there. And then our asparagus and onions and things like that we grow in those round tubs. Anyway, so thanks for watching. That's getting to be kind of a long video, so I better shut it off before they get mad at me. Anyways, thanks for watching.